The veil that clouds your eyes shall be lifted by the hands that wove it, and the clay that fills your ears shall be pierced by those fingers that kneaded it. And you shall see, and you shall hear, yet you shall not deplore having known blindness, nor regret having been deaf.
Monumental statements awakening from slumbering graves like great statesmen. Patrice Lumumba's assassination, Che and Castro and Cuba laughing at U.S. administration. Muyumba told me that I had to be patient. Embargoes are just a patience game with loose change. African nations lose patience, so they make them food banks after they raped them in invasions. Massacred and maimed them, took their resources and claimed them, enslaving them to this day with cheap offerings like wrought beings made of clay. Slave labor made great nations state their greatness. Third world countries originated from colonial administrations. Aborigines and natives can't claim their own lands and graves. Yet Israel was created in a Palestinian state when Germans were gassing and burning them to get rid of their race. Germany was Israelis' homeland, why couldn't they stay there? It's only fair play for all the pain and tears. But since Germany's a rich nation, they just paid their debt. Then Jews said to their neighbors and brethren, Arabian men, we now claim your land as our sacred descendants. The thing is, they both were made from the same essence. Their names and professions came from the same ancient vestiges, the same sacred texts, the same blessings and messages. In no way do these texts say you can aim at your neighbor's chest, lay them to rest and take their remaining possessions. It's racist and devilish to claim that they're terrorists based on a rhetoric that states that you're heaven sent. The states are your brethren, but the rest of the Middle East is waiting for settlements. Little league players are getting restless. US and Israelis must have a death wish. I'm not glad I said this, but truth is the breath I'm fed with. Truth to death with lead tips, whichever direction I'm headed in. Readily beheading dreaded witches and heretics. A veteran to many men in comparison. Weaving thought pattern tapestries with eloquence. It's evident from this intricate unveiling of intrinsic principles and social political elements. Religious and economic development. Street prophets speak honestly, read psalms and revel in a mellow and calm speech, like beaches and palm trees. Beyond this, beyond dreams even, a touch of dawn in the distance, I see more demons. I clutch my palm in a fist and I keep on bleeding. I clutch my palm in a fist and I keep on bleeding.
Is it not your breath that has erected and hardened the structure of your bones? And is it not a dream which none of you remember having dreamt, that builded your city and fashioned all there is in it? Could you but see the tides of that breath, you would cease to see all else. And if you could hear the whispering of the dream, you would hear no other sound. But you do not see, nor do you hear, and it is well. The veil that clouds your eyes shall be lifted by the hands that wove it, and the clay that fills your ears shall be pierced by those fingers that kneaded it. And you shall see, and you shall hear, yet you shall not deplore having known blindness, nor regret having been deaf.
Once you change your philosophy, you change your thought pattern. Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, it changes your behavior pattern. And then you go on into some action. As long as you got a sit-down philosophy, you'll have a sit-down thought pattern. And as long as you think that old sit-down thought, you'll be in some kind of sit-down action. They'll have you sitting in everywhere.
You want frozen out the world like it's Sub-Zero. Sex and desert egos, my strife is feeble. You can't, I'm able, cocaine on my table. Media betray me like I'm in a fable. I'm cartoon like I ain't able. I ain't capable of normal actions of these inside. You soon gon' be blasting. Stereotyping myself, I'm fighting. I've been painted with a brush, so many incidents. Cup-side straying, always praying. Baby, I carry a little weed, but let me be, so set me free. You holding me back, you my enemy. I got mad potential, but my melanin mean I gotta try twice as hard just so I can be half of you, and I gotta try even harder. The world ain't fair, but that don't mean D-Flow ain't gonna be at the top of the pulpit, preaching to the masses like Malcolm did. I read the book about how he lived, the blueprint to advancement. He spoke the truth, so I spit it in the booth. Resonates his word, resonates his worth. Re-engage the youth, let's claim back us. Put your one fist up. This ain't about violence, it's about revolution. Silent shooting through your mind, we polluting, disseminating minds to what's really happening. The strife for my people, so I got to do it rapping. Change the future, so it ain't gonna happen. When those words come out, chain reaction. They feel my pain, those dudes be acting, those dudes be actors in that Adobe production. Phony reenactments of the stories they heard. Now the stories they lived, now the stories they did. Shit, transparent against I see through you. His first album, yet he owned an island. Dude's a liar, pants on fire. Setting your people back, coon for hire. Setting us back should be put on fire. Bling bling, but if I can do, don't think.
Because we get tricked into being nonviolent. And when somebody stands up and talks like I just did, they say, well, he's advocating violence. Isn't that what they say? Every time you pick up your newspaper, you hear where one of these things has written into it that I'm advocating violence. And I have never advocated any violence. I've only said that black people who are the victims of organized violence perpetrated upon us by the Klan, the Citizens Council, and many other forms, we should defend ourselves.
We've been sitting half our lives in classes in Christian masses with no right to question their tactics. We're blasphemous liars just for asking. Please sit quietly back and relax, kids. Don't stand up, cause riots and ask for peace. Tear gas will have you crying, just ask police. Your peers blasted or be dying, and that's the beast. Years after, what's the master's thesis? Christ, I wish I could be asking Jesus why they still massacre peaceful people and leaders and deceive us in believing black gold is freedom. But what I see is whites preaching with black souls from ether. This actual life is meek like a righteous teacher. I'm quite bleak when I write, but I might just reach you like the light that gave birth to the first amoebas. Me and D-Flow's verses reprogramming burst speakers, blow tweeters with no cheaters. We murky leaders. I lurk like a free demon below the earth is ripped. Curse your meaning, unfeasibly painting perfect pictures. Search your readings, our beliefs come from cursive scripts. But you blurred the elixir with your worthless tricks. And the word is, it's a mix-up when you murdered kids. Churches evict us cause we're serving bids, and priests are sick fucks. What's the purpose of worshiping? Giving service to God, I heard it is. Not raping and murdering kids. Surfacing statistics are odd. More burglars and victims in a system where more citizens never heard of assistance. Absurd wisdom says sit down, show no resistance. Pose no threat now, you end up going to prison. Or better yet, disappear in an instant. Stop flinching from coppers and cop biscuits.
And none of the Negro leaders opened up their mouths during the trial. They were silent while they had a rally of 35,000 Negroes in one of those big Wrigley Fields in Los Angeles. Well, the all-white jury was in session, and not one of them came forward and mentioned what had happened to those 14 Negroes in that city. And they wonder why things are developing to what they are today. No, you don't get justice in court. A black man can't get justice in court. A black man can't get justice in the court system of America. And I'm telling you, the only way you get justice is in the street. The only way you get justice is in the sidewalk. The only way you get justice is when you make justice for yourself. You never will get justice in the white man's court. No, not me. I never want him to take me to court. I saw what he did with my brothers. I see what he has done with them right here in New York City. So make sure you obey the law. Make sure you never commit a crime. Make sure you never deviate from the law. But any time one of them puts his hands on you, take him off the planet. Take him off the planet.
I represent represent too many nations, resented too many years to let you knock out my peers or stop my mic innovations. You look like you need renovations. You're shook right up in your mental state. I'm meant to stay greatness while you're bent for fake hits. Your style is hatred. Make no mistakes about the stakes. And if you doubt the outcome, change your route, son. Without two ways out, you're like Malcolm. The sixth system just dismissed them in dismay. They didn't know what to say back to elaborate black thought, but now it's payback. Black and white alike recite on the mic. New world order. More than a few languages you ought to peep and speak. Leak your anguishes on weekends instead of preaching weak. As a fan, you should be sweet spoken. Man, you could be street sweeping, but stop impersonating. Start talking about the curse of hating that's degrading this art. Debating is worse. I'm said to be versed. Deflating lead heads puffed up with tough luck. See what mental bread spreads cuffed up with rough bucks. Sucks to be fucked up. I'll feed you from the head instead and bring you heeds from the dead. No need to run with speed. Safety proceeds. Simply believe in what I say. Hope and pray every day for a better place given. Stay that way and vote for a better pace of living. If we all vote, then this is more than just a hopeless quote. Think of the street masses' power to devour the sweet sour system. It's sour come at last. Think of the social implications if this comes to pass. No more spatial replications of the matrix and its hatred. Long awaited like awakenings of sacred kings. My saint patron brings me hope instead of doping things. Coping with being broken, smoked up I often sing. Until I'm off the scene, often an obscene coffin. The cost is my caution and coffin. I take precautions and action. Watch your jaw slacking, mind clenches, I'll make you backspin. You're great relaxing, but your fade awaits no fake contraptions. I impose a closed caption, botched flows implode, you overload, I'm laughing. We need this conscious revolution, no more nonsense resolutions. I know the poor, this is a godsend for their confusion and contusions. This system's got to end with its illusions. This is its dissolution, take heed to this solution. Take heed to this solution. MCs change your vocabulary. I'm very wary of similar syntaxes. I diminish yours on the mic and bring your facts at a strange axis. Relax, kid, sing tracks and do your whack bids, but don't attack me without practice. I'll react and sting you well, make my name ring bells. Kinetic tales force the contortion of your physical shells. Critical course of action, credit is due where I excel. Of course I spread it to my crew too, but I'm the lyrical well. Spiritual miracle, instilling fear in you like clerics and spirits. Plus I'm not even hearing you. Man, I teach 2 languages. Yeah, I got a few anguishes, but generally speaking, I'm leaking truths. Never degenerately preaching. I'm teaching youths, generously impeaching you. Ingenious like Jizza, genius and Jesus. A street apostle, discreetly spreading sweet gospel. Humanity is weak, unspeakably perverted in bleak brothels. Unique words, speaking human profanities unheard. A story untold, gory consumed souls from toxic tomb fumes. Apocalyptic doom soon to unfold upon the whole earth. Upon a political chess games, believes his fame blessed from soul birth. But a critical chess stain could stain his whole shirt. A global time bomb is ticking, but a noble mind bond is written between me and the world. Poetry flows both ways, seemingly in a world of verbal dope and purple haze smoke. Prose is living antithesis, giving flow pro with no low blows. My thesis is more than hypothesis. Telekinesis is the power to move beings by pure thoughts. When I sing this thing I brought, you're just seeing what you sought. Instead of fleeing, it's better to be agreeing with this work that I wrought. It's not perfect like life, but it's worth it, so don't curse it. Despite hindsight, my mind shines bright. And every time it's like this. We need this conscious revolution, no more nonsense resolutions. I know the poor, this is a godsend for the confusion and contusions. This system's got to end with its illusions. This is its dissolution, take heed to this solution.
Slipping off, grip the horse, boss, get you to see the vast potential. You're losing or using less than 10 from your mental. 93% left, I see conscious to the deadness. Miss, I flex, push a mess of best from the left. My dog Teo with me, you peep deep till infinity. Drive aside with me, get me wisdom in the rhythm beat. You wanna leave comments? Drop about the issues. You mentally dead, get blown off like a tissue. We got too many fans and views, true using plans. Answer fan messages, bless sands with vestiges. Brains going mic stands, you see summer man. We see more than the 4 in front of hands. Too many pouring down, fam kids in the struggle, but it's stay in the puzzle you play. Stay in ignorance, you just doing music. Leave the world, spray deliberate.
Take this opportunity, introduce y'all to a man. Speak English as a second language. French is the first. Spanish is the third. Deep in all three. Tonyo.
I was resurrected by grave diggers, no respect to paid figures in this industry. I slay them quicker mentally than this beat drops. Elementary with no heat, cocked or Reeboks on my feet. Just acapella with a beatbox. My feet's block and black out when I'm yelling. Cerebellum's turn from pink to green to yellow like bruises and contusions. Taste the rainbow of confusion that awaits you. You think I seem mellow when you see me, but don't be deceived by TV screens and fiber optics. I'm a half-breed bastard with none but one master that breathed life into me. Back from the dead, a conceived light entity with quite a few enemies. So I write and spew venomously for the legions of demons that are seeking me, leaving them weak in the knees when they grab mics, so they grab knives and try to stab me in the back. I feel slight pricks from the pressure as life trickles immeasurably from my being. I start seeing dead relatives, developing a sedative. I start emceeing for the hell of it. Now I'm digging up graves, though I relish it. Sticking up knaves for their embellishments like grave robbers. When their corpse is too old and rotten from golden plotting, I throw it back in and get a fresh plot, cause they're not lacking. I stop actors in the midst of a scene, scream cut scenes up, just dismiss it as a dream as they crumble to dust. Though I fumble in lust, I tunnel under the Atlantic Ocean and stumble upon Atlantis ghosts, whispering secrets unknown in the globe's known regions. I bless their souls and atone them to rest in peace. Then the beast pursues me through temple alleys in the valley of Ray, as the Ra's guiding me in my mental. Allah Akbar, Shaitan, stop trying to tempt me.
It's the call of the wild, we don't smile all the time. Beat the rhymes, beat the weak, we get rhymes unique. Ring the bell in our souls, through the call, the truth is told. Break the mold, fake rhyme, take time and make it fold.
I am privileged to present a man whose visits from the outside world are not nearly often enough. Known to most of the galaxy as
Born hopeless as a pawn, but I woke up respawned, spanning the cosmos like holy psalms and phantom form. An osmosis with animals, plants, and songs. The wind sings, my sins are my instincts. Saturn's rings are incinerated gases, ice and particles from asteroids clashing. We live in a linked system, atoms split and disintegrate in black holes at critical mass. Hear it in lyrical aspects. Phonetics are mathematically blasted through a heavenly 7 sense. But my 6 is what moves you, and my 5th is what I'm using to do this, distorting the 4th dimension through its nucleus. The proof of this is that you blissfully forget what the time is, as these lines hit your brain and redefine it. Shift your frame and realign it on your chairs. You sit there, that's telekinesis, like a glitch in your ear. I'm unveiling a thesis. My enemies are pale and speechless, twitching in fear.
I read from the scripture, leave it up to you to see the picture.
Somebody stop him!
You know the illest MC that ever did it.
Conquering globes and universes with galactics.
I read from the scripture, leave it up to you to see the picture.
Somebody stop him!
You know the illest MC that ever did it.
Conquering globes and universes with galactics.
Stuck on the bracelet in a basement, it's like being locked in a cell. Only it's not 6x8 and I'm not rotten in hell. I focus and keep my mind's eye open. From nighttime till dawn, souls take flight like swarms of locusts, descending upon me to choke me in my sleep. I see dope fiends, demons and beings unspoken and unheard of. Innocent children playing perverted games, civilians laying murdered and raped, the world in flames. Like Gilgamesh, I swim underwater and search in vain for a way to instill flesh with the perfect agent made by lost and forgotten ancients. I turn in a maze, burning my brain in amazement, but my mind's playing tricks on me. Of course it's the Matrix, Satan's laughing. Wake up gasping for air, reinstated in my basement, in my physical shell, awakened in a spiritual hell, awaiting my metaphysical bell.
I read from the scripture, leave it up to you to see the picture.
Somebody stop him!
You know the illest MC that ever did it.
Conquering globes and universes with galactics.
I read from the scripture, leave it up to you to see the picture.
Somebody stop him!
You know the illest MC that ever did it.
Conquering globes and universes with galactics.
The globe is high tension, like the voltage in electric centrals. Thunderbolts of rails on subway stations. My rhymes defy mention in a league of extraordinary gentlemen. My central intelligence disproves agency's relevance. Mention my name, you're in hell again, embellishing your tales of sin with lies and hate. I twist Buddha like the fifth ruler of divine grace. Exhume Judas stick as I fly in the matrix. Move swift to my mind's destination, consuming elements and brilling them back out to the faceless masses, till I black out like a cop's flashlight and watch riots. Nothing in sight but shots fired, getting snuffed by the night. You show guns, better blast right, sensei. What happens if your ass is frightened? Ass Rikers inmates, what's likely? You'll bend over and break. No one knows me on this whole earth. Do you know what's at stake? I've been so sober I controlled novas. So your gold chains and brainwash flows just won't hold up. I own MCs with my soul worth. You're so lame when I rock shows. You don't show up cause you know I hurt you. It's over with commercials. Welcome to the main feature. Players remain seated on the bleachers. The outcome is bleak, but you need this, no doubt, son. I speak with uniqueness. Close your mouth with your gun speeches. I'm creating new synaptic connections in your gray matter as you're listening, raining data to freshen your neurons and get them glistening. Hip psalms like at a christening, but not about the Christian Trinity. Three pre-existing entities listed as divinities, speaking through me as a conduit for their secrets, moving through a bleak post-apocalyptic future. I speak of ghosts and lost prophets with a cryptic usage of linguistics, diffused with a profusion of intrinsic truths, foretold in more scrolls and laws of golden ages and olden days, molding pages on rolls of clay. My scriptures are a mixture of Hebrew and Arabic with a graffiti twist of Aramaic and cuneiform clay scripts. Deciphering my writings is enticing and intriguing, like hiking up a steep cliff on a coast and diving off the deep end in dark uncharted parts of the ocean. It's obvious you bargain much more than you hope for, like the Torah's encoded prophecies, the lost book of Enki or the Mars way station for spaceships. It's tempting to mark me off as a demented MC. Ignore this and play your PlayStation, of course, kid. Just don't blame me later when you get caught up in this fake shit. The samsara's makeshift, envy, greed, lust, and hatred. In the end you'll be deceived by those you trusted and ate with, the ones that can hurt you the most. It's over with commercials. Welcome to the main feature. Players remain seated on the bleachers. The outcome is bleak, but you need this, no doubt, son. I speak with uniqueness. Close your mouth with your gun speeches. Offbeat, I softly speak. When I cough, there's a reason. What I'm leaking is a quasar on a black hole beat. Both ends meet off the radar till the actual feet. The beginning is bleak, with the blending of sugar and spices. Like a feat with Melissa and Isis. Life's priceless, but too many Suge Knights just heist it. I'm glad we can still fight back, but the crisis instills madness. Hype track, we're only feeling who's the baddest. Artists are losing their manners with phony appeals to the masses, abusing the canvas and the art form. It used to be a gift to the fans to get them heartwarmed, but now it's just used to get the charts warm. Where do we start from here? Or rather, should we continue? Simply switch the platter in the menu. What's the next venue? Political issues or critical ones, like the guided missiles that officials try to lie about while they idolize the route of all evil. The root of all warfare sequels put more fear in people's minds. Shut the blinds so they can't see through. Tell them that those that died were created unequal. Make them believe that 10 American lives are worth a heap of men, children, and wives that are Middle Eastern. Yeah. Belittle the little leagues of Eastern European countries just for fun. Then speak of peace, cause it's just a pun. And if justice is never won easily, then it must be bought feasibly by the ones that can afford to sneeze their snot noses on our place so we can eat like dogs and praise God while they say grace to save face for the namesake of their strange man-made matrix of relationships governed by their so-called sacred scriptures. I say save the wisdom. We know where it originated from. We can read the crypts, so we let them seek the abyss. Let the black hole that attracts them such forgive them, as much as they forgave those they used as crutches until they made them break under their weight like the Dutch colonial administration did in Africa and elsewhere where their nameplates still stand till the sand covers them up, like they covered up the brothers they buck with cheap blankets, then dump them in contaminated landfills by their own chemical plant spill. And to this day they kill them in their own land still. Yet they speak of terror when it's vice versa. But tell me, which error and vice is the worst one? How could Christ and every other prophet in your writings be white when we all know where they came from? There is no such color of skin. Guess who gets redeemed for this theft? They discolored our kin. Can you act right now that you see the black light? That's right. And I don't act out of spite. Bobby Prince, T.O. Ali Dahesh Empire, Ali Prince Productions, on the come up, 2006, 2007, watch where we're at, 2010. Street teacher, greet sweepers with a grin, since the reaper can't speak to me then. When I'm convinced that inshallah I'm invincible, in principle, as a subconscious spiritual being with unlimited context and empirical gleanings. Your primitive nonsense and lyrical meaning is obvious. It's a pivotal flaw, but God bless your carcass. I'm marked for death. I feel it down to my cartilage. A spark of carnage. I wrote the art of being heartless. Reborn in a tar pit, 3 floors up when the knocks hit. Just playing my part, kid. I respawned as an artist, painting a dark canvas of random thought patterns that happen to rhyme accurately, climb rapidly, then climax on the beat. Rap in the streets, attack me, get beat down discreetly, wrapped up in a sheet, capped up with your own heat, 2 up in your dome piece. Own me, clone copy with sloppy facts, copycat or get a grown hobby. You cannot be a rapper. Stop dropping your tantrums. Start contemplating mantras like wisdom in a lantern on the path of life, in the form of a light that guides you and provides you with insight, born from wise and righteous knowledge. Despise those that fight for power. It's fight the power, you hyped up cowards. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise it. I make albums to exercise kids' third eyelids, like birds flying from the words I've scripted. Ink drip from the pen onto my fingers, words of the misfits in prison. I'm just another statistic that disappeared, slipped in between the digits of this wicked system we're living in fear of.
Little ghetto boy,
the picture's getting a lot clearer.
Hold on, times have changed, back in time, things look fine, but they're now all erased. Little ghetto boy. Back in the day as a ghetto boy, in the hood living it up, it was like living in the middle of the woods, but in reality it was like living in the deserts. The sun dries your whole soul out, and then the whole scorpions will eat you out cold, and you see it almost like you're feeling like you're outsold by everyone around you, but you're still trying to struggle and try and make it every day so you wouldn't have to struggle. I remember the times when we used to be in the hood. Mama used to cry and daddy would say why, and then sometimes they would come to arguments with a rise, and I would always sit there and my brothers and I would cry. My sister didn't know what was going on, too young. We'd be ghetto children, you see. Now it's a new journey just begun. Now we're growing up to see a different life. It's a pastime. I talk the truth, that's why I always pass my time. You feel me? Little ghetto boy, hold on. Times have changed, back in time, things look fine, but now they're all rearranged.
like I'm bereft of breath, restless and stressed on my deathbed. I'm resurrected and blessed. I guess contradiction's the universal essence. When I'm speechless, I'm scripting pieces of angel tablets, reconstructing fragments of ancient mantras, praying in Mandarin, French, Spanish, Italian, and Arabic. Crazy how pretensions vanish now that I say this. I'm not a naysayer or savior, but you ain't saying nada. Como me hablas de verdad con un espíritu malo. No me entiendes cuando hablo, hermano, vamos. I seem conceited at times, but reading between my lines. Mandajito, hijo, Ali's the beat miner. He finds diamonds in the rough, cold black like holes in universes unprobable. Alliances universal like Atlantis, globally linking the earth's roots. You diverse me is improbable. I go back like throws. Your defiance is obviously improper doctrine. Cop 10 of your men, meet me at Tiananmen Square for the square off. Doi but shit while I one le, slice your ear off. That's my feedback for your tracks if you need that. Say Fei Chong'an Xie for the free raps.
Make up your mind about who you be. Taking a trip to eternity is not the way. Your legends arrive, Machiavellian signs. You walk with a limp, just a sign of the times. Meanwhile in the neighborhood, mama is crying. There's a total eclipse of her sun on her mind.
Tahira brings heat, even the deserts like eagles. Sky high, unimpeachable, we fly by like Clyde and Bonnie and drive-bys with no lives wasted. You be like, who's the fly mom you riding with? Is she taken? To all you artists trying to make it, just for the bacon. Thinking one day you'll be flossing, iced out and caked up. Think you're the smartest or the hardest? Lights out, you fake fuck. Be cautious of your next move. Bulletproof, flex coupe, doors still open. Stand still, they're trying to scope you. Bullets scoop you off the floor when they shoot you. It's not a question of hatred, you just caught the vapors. Fake kids like the people in the Matrix. You're all replaceable faces, you get switched by agents. Traded like major league players in the game, but you're minor like keynotes and crimes. When you say you're into Kane, may I see? I confiscate your fake ID. Deja vu, c'est la vie. On m'a déjà fait le Cuba, mais là je vois le Tuga. From Cuba to Kuala Lumpur to Tel Aviv.
Don't try to follow your friends on the streets. Make up your mind about who you be. Taking a trip to eternity is not the way. Your legends arrive, Machiavellian signs. You walk with a limp, just a sign of the time. Meanwhile in the neighborhood, mama is crying. There's a total eclipse of her sun on her mind. Your history shows the way. Should you go or should you stay? Like lovers in a worn-out play. Feel me. Don't judge us if you should fail. Different cultures, we mix it with hell. In the dreams or of life we got dealt. Dummy God. Habla español, parlez-vous français. La vie vivante, anyone respect. The natural order of change is in place. The higher the learning, the smaller your space. Betrayed by all you say. Show love, respect, not hate. With unity we're all safe. Feel me. Don't try to follow your friends on the street. Make up your mind about who you be. Taking a trip to eternity is not the way. Your legends arrive, Machiavellian signs. You walk with a limp, just a sign of the time. Meanwhile in the neighborhood, mama is crying. There's a total eclipse of the sun on her mind. Feel me.
String data up like fermions and matter, dancing woolly masters, illumine synapses, neurons and brain pathways, paved with poisonous bricks of gray matter. Abstract math blasted through the larynx faster than you hear it. Mirror noise and effects breaking barriers and eardrums, daring you to snap back blasphemy and voice your connections. I hear none, X different choices and dimensions. Mention me, I'm mentally retentive. poised and attentive since elementary to everything I wasn't meant to be. Using my pen to escape a grim fate from penitentiary. Belligerently penitent and repentant, seeking my betterment like some of the tenants in my tenements. I put an end to this demented rhetoric. It was meant to be a sedative.
Actual facts are thrown at you. The impact of blow trees back and crack statues.
I sit back and split linguistic fractions in a sick, twisted fashion. You ask questions, I spit with an asterisk. Classes in session, master this. Mass disciplines and practices reflected in fractals like acid flashbacks. Your pupils become massive black holes. Your irises, the galaxies they swallow. It happens too fast to be followed. Your soul blasts through new dimensions and loopholes where time's bending. Your mind enters divine presence, the essence of science and messengers. Blessings and rhymes professed in this. Yet hitherto we're in indefinite spiritual deficit. Lyrical exorcist, casting demons and evil spirits in the depth of this. Death sentence and lethal sentences. You have no premises to be my nemesis. Vacate the premises, you're all apprentices.
Actual facts are thrown at you. The impact of blow trees back and crack statues.
Who are you kidding? I'm bruising you, spitting, abusing you, critics spewing you, lyrics ridiculously fluid, ridiculing you, gimmicks, mimicking chimps in an industry littered with illiterate, glittering imbeciles. You're choosing a credit. I'm fluent and ready, a synthesis of ruined syncretics, incredibly rude medley, tentative and moody aesthetic, full color spectrum in sentences, movie and credits, destined as ex-crime operative to move and keep records. Still flocks alliance of Jannah and Zion at approximate time of rocks alignment in a cosmic climate, boxing in rhymes with toxins to stop minds from rotten signs from prophets. Lock and combine till it blinds your optics. Shine like the sun in the tropics if you're shunning the topics. Stun you with logic, your shotgun. I'm coming with rockets. I'm not done, you got done in the process.
One, mathematics is the language of nature. 2, everything around us can be represented and understood through numbers. 3, if you graph the numbers of any system, patterns emerge. Therefore, there are patterns everywhere in nature.
Yo, grafted numerical equations through lyrical invasions causes chemical imbalances, bipolar situations. Equilibrium, no longer a steady structure. The mic is a conductor causing shit to rupture. Internally bleeding through constant elevation. My mental anticipation, lyrical lacerations. The earth shifts its axis when practicing my tactics. Stretches like elastic, making beats do backflips. Breaking down Scientology and the biology, astrophysics, psychology, and reverse numerology. My style's infinite like the symbol of pi. Breaking through quasars in the atmosphere in the sky. Raw metals and gases, leaving stars and ashes on the backs and asses of these fake MC classes. Elemental erections, injections, infections. The immaculate conception of this native's resurrection. Yeah, yo, we're breaking MCs down like they chemical clowns, making it pound with that underground sound. Yeah, yo, we're breaking MCs down like they chemical clowns, making it pound with that underground sound. Pressure points and acupuncture keep you grafted in fear. It's a lyrical penetration through the back of your ear. Poison pins bending men until they laughing in tears. Bending light through broken prisms in the back of a mirror. Ones and zeros combined, create codes and combinations. Deciphering my lyrics through the numerical equations. My thesis is written through scripture and hieroglyphics, studied by scientists to figure out the specifics. A million combinations even aliens couldn't fathom. My thoughts become a sphere, more deadly than phantasm. The chasms of time jump from 1 to the 9. 20 styles combined to crush vertebrae and spines, paralyzing your mind with the intricate design, defined by the line that was scripted in rhyme. You're blind to the scientific thought of a mind. Derelict and TQF, we just two of a kind. Elemental. Yeah, yo, we breaking MCs down like they chemical clowns, making it pound with that underground sound. Yeah, yo, we breaking MCs down like they chemical clowns, making it pound with that underground sound.
110 degrees Celsius of resistance to elements 50 to minus 60 with the winds factored. You'll freeze swiftly in the winter breeze, skin splinters and crackles like matter in black holes. Mathematics is the language of nature, it's factual, but astrophysics is its application, and biochemistry's the last equation. Unfathomed RNA arrangements and amino acid chains in strange planetary atmospheres, reacting to air, water, and magma. Electric blasts restructuring fragmented atoms, volcanic eruptions and underwater faults and chasms. Order from chaotic mass, we all came from caverns. From monkeys to godless organized nations and countries. Corporations playing God with nature's elemental structure. Hell-bent on destruction, praying in the midst of toxic vapors. Intoxicated by rocks and slave ship. Assalamu alaikum with all dots and lines in a cosmic equation.
Yeah, yo, we breaking MCs down like they chemical clowns, making it pound with that underground sound.
Elemental.
Yeah, yo, we breaking MCs down like they chemical clowns, making it pound with that underground sound.
When I was a little kid, my mother told me not to stare into the sun. So once when I was 6, I did. The doctors didn't know if my eyes would ever heal. I was terrified, alone in that darkness. Slowly, daylight crept in through the bandages, and I could see. But something else had changed inside me.
Going against the grain, flowing against the mainstream, wandering aimlessly in strange dreams. Vainly as it may seem, nowadays things can get much stranger. I daydream, then I wake up in a not so distant future of totalitarian views, controlled through computers. Even the proletariat uses. They're duped and deceived into believing that they're useful to the state, as individuals free to choose their fate, when in truth they're mass produced to be dubiously debased, bombarded and brainwashed by mass media. I stay on guard for the clash of the classes. Karl Marx planned it. They can brand me a bandit or a demon that spews acid even. But seeking me, it depends who's asking and who ends up with their ass kicked, pleading for a truce that quick. So beefing, I overlook that shit. Me, I'm reading new classics, beating up Scroogey bastards, redistributing cash and assets. Catch me in a back alley, tallying the loot with a black man wearing a mask, carrying 6 daggers, looking mad suspect as you can imagine. You'll be glad that we came through to change the game and it's aimed to. We splatter your brain like strange angels, grab you and hang you by your chain if it dangles. But you'll be happy we made it to save you slaves from the matrix. We shatter your frame in 8 places, stab you and strangle you, then maim you if you make faces. Glad that we came through to change the game and it's aimed to. We splatter your brain like strange angels, grab you and hang you by your chain if it dangles. But you'll be happy we made it to save you slaves from the matrix. We shatter your frame in 8 places, stab you and strangle you, then maim you if you make us on the underground scene, screaming revolution. You mumble the sound street and you're preaching illusions. We pounce and leap in a jungle of concrete. You're a nuisance, like east-west beef confusion, a Hutu Tutsi. Uhuru, Ishmael, and I still move swift. When I pass through Israel, I get voodoo mood swings, slinging rocks at Mossad cops while they're cruising. My crew sings music for bruised kids, sick of losing the blueprint for unity in their communities, looted and abused with impunity by rich, twisted fascists with diplomatic immunity. Palestinians are making the news this millennium. Al Jazeera's moving the Middle East meridian. The US is in a new depression thanks to the useless guesses of bankers and Wall Street idiots. Nukes are left in suitcases at the new administration's briefing by discreet gangsters and Indians in 3-piece suits.
You know what to do. You know when to do it. Bye.
Glad that we came through to change the game and it's aimed to. We splatter your brain like strange angels, grab you and hang you by your chain if it dangles. But you'll be happy we made it to save you slaves from the matrix. We shatter your frame in 8 places, stab you and strangle you, then maim you if you make faces. Glad that we came through to change the game and it's aimed to. We splatter your brain like strange angels, grab you and hang you by your chain if it dangles. But you'll be happy we made it to save you slaves from the matrix. We shatter your frame in 8 places, stab you and strangle you, then maim you if you make faces.